Hello, welcome to Yoga with Caitlin. Today we'll be stretching hip flexors and a little bit of quads, or the fronts of your thighs. So whenever you want to stretch the front of your legs, not your hamstrings, but your quads or hip flexors, you want to focus on your pelvis tucking under and turning your whole pelvis upright. Your tailbone is tucked under. All right, that's called a posterior pelvic tilt. And that's what you want your pelvis to do anytime you're stretching the fronts of your legs. If you're stretching your hamstrings, you go the opposite direction. But for today, focus on tucking the pelvis under, lifting through your core. We'll start on knees today. And for this first one, just bring your toes together and heels together, knees a little bit wider, and sit down on your heels. Then, give it a little more room there. Then walk your hands back behind you as far as you'd like, rolling your tailbone under, right? And arms can stay straight. If your knees feel comfortable though, no pain there, you can bend your elbows, relax your head back, walk a little further. And just be curious about the condition of the fronts of your legs today. And walk your hands back slowly. Inhale, lengthen up tall. Pull your knees back under your hips. All right, this next move, take a deep breath in your lengthened spine. As you exhale, send your right foot forward and sink down into your hips. Keep the tuck in your tailbone, your pelvis upright. A lot of us tend to spill the pelvis forward once we're here and relax the belly once we're in a low lunge, but keep the pelvis upright. Interlace your fingers on top of your thigh and straighten your arms to make space between your chest and your thigh as you send your knee forward. So if your right foot is forward, you should feel this in your left hip flexors today. Deep breaths. With your next inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Then take a hold of your left wrist with your right hand, or right pointer finger and thumb. Pull your arm overhead and then slightly backwards. So I'll show that from the front as well. You're pulling your arm overhead, then slightly back, so that you can really get a deep stretch into the hip flexor. All right. Inhale again, reach up. Exhale, drop your left hand to the ground next to your foot. Use your right hand to press your knee away. And then you're going to reach your right hand behind you and pick up your toes. Now, it's not important to me if you reach your foot and actually grasp it, but what's important is keeping your hips down, engaging your glutes and hamstrings to pull your leg up, and reaching back with your chest up. Your left hand is pushing into the ground or even a block. Then if you catch your foot, great. Pull it a little closer, heel to glute. That's a really great quad stretch. You can also take this against a wall. If you back up into a wall, slide your knee towards the wall, toes up, and then once more interlacing your finger on top of your thigh. It's a great stretch for your left quad here. Yes. Awesome. All right, back to your knees. We'll take that on the other side. Deep breath in. Exhale, send your left foot forward. Sink your hips down, but keep your core engaged, tailbone tucked. Stretching the right hip flexors now. Interlace fingers. Straighten your arms. Push your heart up away from your leg. Send your knee forward. Take deep breaths. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Use your left fingers to pull your right wrist overhead, slightly behind. Inhale again, reach up. Exhale, plant your left hand. Right hand. Use your left hand to push your knee slightly out. And then option 2, keep your hips low, chest lifted, reach back for your foot. It's not important that you catch it, but if you do, pull your heel closer to your glute. Once more, let's see that against the wall. Slide your knee back towards the wall, toes up as far as you can manage basically here. Interlace fingers on top of your thigh. You can also do this with your foot on your couch if it's a nice height for you. And gently release. This next one, you'll bring your knees a little bit wider and then slide your right foot to your left knee and sit down. Toes pointed slightly back. This is our pinwheel position, what I like to call it. Take a deep breath in and then curl your tailbone under, just like we have for each of these. Walk your hands back. Make sure that your left toes are pointed straight back, your knee pointed straight forward. If there's no pain in your knees or hips for this one, bend your elbows, maybe even drop onto your elbows. Relax your neck. And if you are feeling warm and absolutely no pain, that's when you can drop all the way onto your shoulders. And also, don't be alarmed if you can't do this the very first time that you stretch your hip flexors. This takes practice and time to allow your muscles to lengthen and relax. If you're not completely on the ground, if you're on your palms still, a good way to find more activation, squeeze your glute and your core to lengthen through your quad without needing to drop onto your elbows or your shoulders. All right, that's pinwheel. Another option here, straighten your right leg, keeping your left leg just as it was, but straighten your right leg forward, sit up tall, and curl all the way down. Just with a straightened right leg. To your palms, to your elbows, or to your shoulders. Deep breaths. Slowly rise. We'll take that on the other side. Inhale, hurdle your left foot forward, right toes back this time. Lengthen up through your spine and slowly lean back, walk your hands back. Try to keep your right hip towards the ground. You might lower onto your elbows, but always for more activation, find activation in your glutes and core first before lowering. If there's no pain in your knees or hips, lower further down. That's when you can move to your deepest place. Relax your neck. Take deep breaths. Inhale, slowly press up. You might extend your left leg, taking the same movement. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, slowly lean back, tucking your tailbone under. Now, in each of these, my right knee is pointed forward, toes pointed straight back. So this is a little bit of flexibility in your ankle and foot as well. So don't be alarmed if this one doesn't feel super comfortable yet. That's okay. You can skip it or just take it easy and come back to it another time. Curl your right foot forward once more. Make sure you have room behind you. Lean back, pull your right foot over in a figure 4 shape and roll to your spine. Now in this one, we've taken a few different types of figure 4. It's pretty common, but I want you to take your right foot and pull your left knee down and across your mat. So your right foot is active in this case. All right. And your left knee and foot are relaxed. Just allow your hip flexor to stretch. This is more of the side of your hip flexors, including your TFL. Deep breaths. You can reach your arms out to the sides, maybe overhead, clasp your elbows, whatever feels most comfortable. You might want to hold onto your hip bone and feel it open up right there. One more inhale, exhale, pull your legs back to a normal figure four and unwind. Deep breath in. Exhale, pull your left knee in and across, figure four. And then use your left foot, the strength in your leg, to pull your right knee down. This time your right leg is relaxed. And just like in that pinwheel position, find activation in your glute and core in order to find more sensation in your hip flexors. One more inhale. Exhale, pull your legs back to center and release. For this last one, take a block or something that you can place under your lower back. Push into your feet. Inhale, float your hips up, slide a block under your sacrum or tailbone. And then once here, roll your shoulder blades flat, find an effortless place to be. Slowly slide your left heel forward until your leg is as long as you would like. This is a gentle hip flexor opener. For more sensation, engage your glute and core, or you might want to lift the height of the block to level 2. That's awesome too. Eventually, slowly slide your left heel back in. Exhale, extend your right leg out long, allowing your hip flexor to gently release. Repeat that on one leg at a time, or try both legs long. Make sure you're not flaring up your ribs too much, right? Try to pull your ribs down. Hold this as long as you would like, and slowly pull your heels back in. Inhale, float your hips up to remove the block. Exhale, curl down and rest. Thank you for joining me for these hip flexor stretches and quad stretches today. I hope you found them helpful. Until next time.